Hersheypark, one of the most well-rounded amusement parks in America. Today we're going to talk about whether or not Hersheypark is the best amusement park in the entire country. It is rumored that Hersheypark had roughly 4 million guests come through the gates for the 2023 season. One thing is for sure, this park gets better and better every year, with over 70 rides and attractions, including 14 roller coasters, a zoo, a water park, both on site and included with your admission. This is Theme Park Motivation. My name is Rich, and I'm going to tell you why I think Hersheypark is going to be the best amusement park in America. It is no surprise that 2023 was a stellar year for Hersheypark with the addition of Wildcats Revenge. This thing had so much hype around it. I personally think it is one of the best RMCs I have ever been on, and I was very skeptical of this coaster when it was announced. I thought it would probably be an okay RMC, but it is really a top 5 without a doubt. So I want to talk about some things that make Hersheypark so unique in the sense that they do things a lot differently than most amusement parks and theme parks around the country. So this year for 2024, we have Sky Rush getting brand new restraints. Now you might be wondering, well, how does this make Hersheypark different than other parks? Well, it's not just that. It's the fact that they listen to their guests. Their guests have been complaining about the restraints on Sky Rush for years. They finally did something about it, along with numerous other upgrades, including Comet getting brand new trains, some retracking done as well, and of course Lightning Racer getting some work done on the station. Now, Wildcats Revenge was a coaster that Hersheypark has been very vocal about, noting that it was because of their guests that they decided to go with RMC. You don't see too many prototype roller coasters or attractions at Hersheypark, and this is partly to do with the fact that Hersheypark is so smart that they know, just let these other parks add these attractions, we'll see how good they are, if they hold up, if they're having any issues with these coasters or rides, and we know whether to add them or not. They were very smart with Wildcats Revenge, adding a loading and unloading station, knowing that their dispatch times were not the greatest of all the parks out there, but they're trying to address this while adding these new attractions. They also don't go for record breakers. They are perfectly content with adding a thrilling coaster that maybe doesn't have the biggest numbers out there. It's not the tallest, it's not the fastest, but it's thrilling. And that's what people want. When you don't have a lot of space and you still find a way to add a hyper coaster, that really says a lot. Now, I do think that Hersheypark is going to be expanding over by Candemonium in the very near future. I'm talking within the next 5 years. This park is going to grow exponentially. Be sure to check out my video on Hersheypark possibly expanding. I want to know what everybody else thinks. Do you think Hersheypark is the best amusement park in America? Be sure to comment below. Please give this video a like, as it really does help with the YouTube algorithm. So pound for pound, if I put Hersheypark up against some of the other top seasonal theme parks out there, we have Dollywood. I would say Dollywood just does not have the attractions, the rides that Hersheypark does. Has excellent theming, great food, just doesn't offer quite as much as Hershey. Now, Regarded as the rocking roller coaster, Cedar Point has a lot of attractions. There's quite a few more coasters than Hersheypark. However, I really feel like Hersheypark has a solid top 5 coaster lineup and could definitely compete with Cedar Point. Do you think Cedar Point is better than Hersheypark? To me, they're just about equal. A few other notable parks that really compete with Hersheypark and their level of theming and attractions, I would say Silver Dollar City and of course Kings Island and Kings Dominion, along with some other wonderful parks around the country. I just don't see any of these other parks quite on the same level as Hersheypark, either offering fewer attractions or ride lineups not being quite as good as Hersheypark's. So every year you can pretty much expect Hersheypark's going to go through their lineup. They're going to see what they need. They're going to address any of the issues with different coasters. 2 years ago, Jolly Rancher Remix totally redid the coaster, gave it a new paint scheme, new train with great restraints, and just kind of revamped a coaster that was not very appealing whatsoever and quite honestly an eyesore. They also took care of Super Duper Looper with giving that a little bit of a paint job. So one thing about Hersheypark that a lot of people don't know, their maintenance department does a phenomenal job. In my opinion, Hersheypark has one of the best maintenance departments of any park in the entire country. They are able to maintain and care for some of these older rides better than any park. Some of these rides that a lot of other parks just give up on, Hersheypark takes the time to get them restored, get the parts they need for them, and if they can't, then they go with a newer and more updated attraction. So we already talked about Skyrush getting new restraints, Comet getting new trains, but sitting back in the shadows, we have Lightning Racer, and Hersheypark is doing some work to this coaster very quietly. I believe it's getting a retrack of some sort. I know they've done work to the station. I'm excited to see, only time will tell, but this is the difference between Hersheypark and a lot of these other parks. The maintenance is absolutely top notch, along with ride selection, the fact that they know exactly what this park needs, the fact that they're willing to listen to their guests. That's really the number one reason Hersheypark is so special, and in my opinion, I think they have a very bright future, and in the next 5 to 10 years, I think Hersheypark will be the best amusement park in the entire country. But I want to know what you think. Do you think Hersheypark is the best park in the country as it is right now? Do you think it'll end up that way? What are your thoughts? Be sure to comment below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you.